Welcome back to the channel, guys. Boosted Ride here. You got Adam, and I'm in the shop here by myself. Jason was supposed to be over here, but he's helping my dad with the combine. Long story short, we've got work to do. We can't wait on him, or we'd be waiting an eternity. As you know, we just got back from Burnout Nationals, Middletown, New York. We had a little bit of a destruction there, and unfortunately, we didn't place at all. So Jason was able to complete the run. I think he popped his tires maybe a little bit too soon, so technically it was a DQ there. Death trap, I think it sheared the fuel pump key. We'll check on that later. But our main focus right now is the Camaro. So the Camaro is going to Australia. It leaves in about 3 weeks, guys. So a lot of work to do. If you're new to the channel, this thing is being shipped to Australia at the end of this month or early November. We got to get it to California, but we have a lot of things to do before then. We've got new front bumper, new fenders that got to get painted. Obviously, the rest of the car's got to get painted. Want to fix the windshield because it's got a crack in it. Yeah, rear bumper if I didn't say it already. But we've also got some issues up front here. We need a spare motor. We need an extra motor for Jason, but we got to get on this one first because it sounded like the motor was grenading at the event, but it was actually just a blower belt. So when I came around there one of those last times and, you know, I was kind of on the throttle pretty good. I did stay off the 8500 this time, even though this is a built bottom end this time. But yeah, it just sounded like it just dropped cylinders, and that's because it was just dumping so much fuel in the blower belt. I seen shrapnel of belt just go flying up in the air. I knew what it was, or at least my gut was telling me blower belt. Let off, kept it running enough just to drive off the edge of the pad there. And yeah, that's what it is. So we're turning into it. My biggest concern with this one is the hat and the adapter plate. And what I mean by that is these run aluminum studs. I don't want to ruin those. We're going to pull them out, bolt it down with regular bolts down the side on 8 bolts. And the reason for that is because this hat and this spacer are put on here with right stuff. I'm not sure who actually makes that stuff. Permatex. Permatex right stuff. And let me tell you, that stuff is more like JD Weld. We're going to have to take the forklift more than likely, wrap a strap around this hat, just this, take the 4 bolts out, 2 in the front and 2 back in the back there. And we're going to have to put a strap around here and get that thing loose. The next spacer, I'm not even sure what we're going to do, but we'll figure something out. I think the last time I had the blower restraints on it. Pulled up that way, but it is just, that stuff is crazy. Seal's great, but when you want to take something apart, man, I tell you, try to take a knife the best you can and get it cut inside of here to break up a lot of it. That will help ease the hat coming off or anything that you have with right stuff on it. But I'm no expert, but you know what? Let's get it torn apart. I got to take it over to him tomorrow night. Rudy at R&P Blowers in Waterloo, Iowa. He is one hell of a man. I think he worked for John Force and stuff back in the day. He knows blowers. He's getting up there in age. One of these days he's going to retire, so I'm going to try and hit him up for a few tips and tricks and see if he's got some stuff up his sleeve he'll share with me. And, you know, I'd really love to learn the trade. And, you know, if we're going to be running blowers ourselves, maybe we could, you know, service our own going forward or something when he does want to retire and wants to quit doing it. I don't know if he's got somebody planned to take it over. Maybe that's something, you know, that I'd like to learn, and maybe we could help some others out as well. So he's always treated us fair, reasonably priced. Nothing against any other guys out there, but usually when you send a blower to someone, it's going to be $900 to $1,000. And Rudy, he's going to fix what needs fixed, and that's all a very fair price. So I got to give it up to him. So we're going to take it over tomorrow night. We'll see what he says, if he's going to tear it apart right away for me. Maybe we'll see what's wrong with it and get an idea. But yeah, when we ran that screw through at Weston's, I don't know if it was this particular screw, but I think it was in the middle one. Doesn't make a difference. We really messed it up, and we should have took it to him then. But we ran it like, you know, 3 more events. Like morons. Nothing out of the ordinary. So we should get on the schedule after the November event. Let's take the other 2 over there, get them serviced as well, get on track, and make sure our stuff is top-notch. We got to have this thing running top-notch so we can show the Australians that Americans do know how to do burnouts. It's just we need to cover shit together. So let's pull this off, and let's see where we go from there. Then we still need to check on Death Trap. We'll check Jason's over as well. Okay, well, I know this is going to look really bad, but I don't know what else to do. We're at the point where we're pulling the hat off, and Jason's not here, so hoist. I just figured it's just as easy to bump the button right here, kind of give it a few bumps, but I got it wrapped around this. I hope, I've done it before, I hope like heck it does not break anything, so let's give her a couple bumps here. Yeah, and if you can't tell, the whole car is lifting up right now. Hey, there we go. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. A little over dramatic, but now we'll get the rest of that pulled off. She's a little gooped up. And then we'll have to figure out something. Maybe I can put some bolts in here or something, but let's set this down. I'll pull that off and then we'll do the next one. And I did put in here 7/16 bolts, like I mentioned. Pulled all the studs out. That way I don't stretch those out because they are aluminum. And if you don't know, they are designed that way. So that way, if the blower was to have an issue catastrophically, the pop ball valve, which this one has, not a burst panel, that's not going to save it if it's a catastrophic engine failure. So they are designed to shear. And then you're supposed to have these straps that come from like here to the exhaust, head, to tie it down. And we do have to get those. So that is one thing on our list as well. But let me let this down, get resituated here, and let's take a stab at the next one. All right, well, the blower's off. Thank you to Jason for the help. Yeah, he's not here. He never showed up. So I got the blower off. Thanks for the hoist being here so I could lift the hat off, lift the adapter plate off, and all that stuff. Got it done, and then this is what we're left with. So this is a Littlefield 671. This is just your standard Littlefield blower. It's really nothing special, not a high helix or anything like that, standard rotors. And this has been sent out to Mike Janis. He does a lot of custom stuff with blowers. I think he's got his own several drag cars, sponsors cars, does a lot of work for blowers. This was a stock case, has been highly modified. You can kind of see the mark here where it's been cut and machined out. This is an insert piece, which I think this is all modular design. I don't know anything about this besides it's in there. And it has a profile in here to match the rotors to an extent. And, you know, I think it's modular because they were probably, you know, messing around with a few things, because this is the upper hat where it's got this section up front, kind of creates the ram effect. And then this plate in the back here, you know, obviously leads to that other plate. It has a profile design in that. And of course, you know, you can see the mark there behind the bottom side of that gray Permatex where, again, modular design. There was some concept here. I mean, does that ram the air in there better? I don't know, but... And then it was Teflon stripped as well. So, oh, and then, so like here's your Teflon stripping. You can see them in there. Every rotor. There's the Weston's catastrophe of running a hat screw down through the blower. So this rotor took all the abuse. There's lobe 1 of that rotor. There's lobe 2. And lobe 3. So obviously, if you didn't notice, it's a 3-lobe design. And the way that they spin, they actually spin this direction and they force air and fuel to the front. This is an open design underneath, so the opening in the bottom does match what the top originally would have been. A lot of your race blowers come up here to a V shape, and that's to actually let the air sit inside the blower longer and compress. There's just a lot of tips and tricks and stuff. Like I said, hopefully Rudy can give me some insight on a lot of this stuff and help us out. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So it did kind of get the case a little bit right here, and I can kind of feel a little bit in the sidewall. Rudy's probably going to want to weld that stuff up, he said, including the rotors. And I said, I don't really need the power, Rudy. I just need a blower that's going to run. I mean, if we lose some boost, it's not a huge deal. Not a big deal. But you know what? He's going to want to fix it. He's going to want to fix it right. And I appreciate that. And we want to know what the right thing would be to do. So we should probably do that. But let me get these pulleys off, and then that's going to do it for tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at Rudy's, and then city council meeting. And then Wednesday, we'll either keep plugging away on the Camaro. Otherwise, I would like to take a peek at Death Trap and Jason's as far as Clearview and figure out the fuel pump situation. Because if we need to get something coming, Aeromotive, I think, stocks pumps. But sometimes there can be a wait on some of that stuff. So, and if we have to send it in for repair, that's definitely several weeks out for that. So we've got to just double check it, then get back on the Camaro and keep plugging away. So, all right, we'll see you guys probably Wednesday. Yep.
Nothing to it.
Nope. Yeah, don't ruin the paint. got liquid running all over. Yep. Ready? Yeah, she's gonna be a fireball. They're out? Yeah.
Yeah, a little more than that one.
Well, it's been a few days, actually. Jason's here. A week, maybe? Yeah, it's probably been
6 to 9 days.
6 to 9 days it's been. And I'll spin the camera around here, but there's been a lot of work done. In fact, we had the blower already to RMP blowers. Rudy took care of that. I've already got it back. And we've got something on top of the motor that's pretty sweet. But first, Jason, what are you doing?
Doing some workout.
Oh, yeah. You better do more. Your butt crack's hanging out of the chair. Yeah. That's the entire front of the car that we just cut off of there. So, Roger's been here doing body work on the Camaro. So, doors, I think he's all done with the doors. I think he's done with pretty much everything. We had a few dingers back here. The trunk, we fixed that. I've got it drilled because we went over and robbed off the ZL1 factory spoiler. So we got a beautiful GM even. ZL1 spoiler. Got the skirts off. They need a little bit of work on those. I did fix, like, you know, taillight buckets, stuff like that. Got some taillights located. Took a couple other parts off the red car, but yeah, a few dingers on this door as well. He was able to massage the metal here and get this dent taken back out. Got our rain guard drip rail things in there. Windshield's got to come out and get replaced. It's cracked. And then, yeah, the cherry on top. It's looking more like Kill a Bee every day, isn't it?
Why we're doing this.
Oh, should we show them?
Over here. I couldn't get the...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we should explain. We're not tube chassis in the front. This is, well, here, let's give them a shot of how the headlight bezel should look at the bottom and top. And then, yeah, it's this is nothing we did. This car was obviously in an accident, and we knew that because the rear quarter panel was all screwed up. But, yeah, we were trying to mess with it a little bit. And then we decided, you know what? We've got that red parts car, that ZL1, that already had a front clip on it. So we went over there. We cut it off right by the, what I want to say, strut towers, and then cut the frame horns off. So we got this one cut where we want it. Now we got to get that one over here, drill out all the spot welds for the pillars up here, apron, whatever, and then, yeah, we need to cut that one off, and hopefully it fits, Jason.
Yeah, it'll fit somewhere.
It'll be fine. It's only aligns the bumper to the hood, to the fenders, and everything else. No big deal. All right, well, we got a little bit of work to do. So drill spot welds, get that one over here, cut the frame rails back, and then we'll hold it up here. We'll see how it looks. And then more updates. Jason, dry sump. Wednesday, hopefully,
2 days.
Which means we're going to pull the motor back out again, and then we got to pull the oil pan off, switch that, mount the dry sump, and we might even just redo this front plate here and actually get all these aluminum spacers and such welded to the plate. So everything is actually fixed on there. That's what we did on Jason's, and it worked out really good. So yeah, that's got to come out. But first, we probably should cut the hood, because Roger's going to want to paint this thing right away here. So we're ready. 2 more weekends, Jason. I thought I'd tell you that earlier. So a lot of work to do, a little bit of time. So let's get to it. Let me sit down first. All right, well, before we close out this video, through the headlight, through the fenders, I threw a couple studs in the blower so we can work on cutting this hood up here before Roger comes back. And hopefully we can have the rest sanded like we said, get it painted. And we'll show you what we're thinking here, maybe a better idea. We'll show them when it's painted.
Yeah, probably.
What's all this stuff behind you here?
Oh, Christmas.
Christmas came early.
Yeah.
Christmas in October. Jason brought some goodies over for the motor here. So we got Avid, Aviade. I don't know. How do you say it?
I don't know.
I don't know. There you go. That's what brand it is. We'll just say that. But 5-stage with the fuel pump drive on the back.
Yep.
So we got to make this fit somewhere on the motor and still be able to fit a fuel pump on the back.
Yep.
Then obviously all the fittings here. Some more pouches, and then bam! Look at this. What is it? Like 1 3/4 deep is all I think it is. And it's got their little billet pressure, LS pressure deal on there, so that way that goes through the pan there for just your pressure in. Otherwise, you would normally on your LS have a feed line out, which would go to your filter and then back in, so that blocks that off.
Got some free mounting brackets.
Okay, so mounting brackets for the brand new dry sump tank here. And that's what we're trying to figure out right now. We need somewhere to put that. We were hoping to have a really clean look here with the blower just sticking out of the hood, but unfortunately, I think we're going to have a tank sticking out.
Put it here.
We're thinking back there, but the problem is if I have to cut any of this wheel arch out here, the tires are really close to back there, so we can't really do anything there. So I think our last thought is basically putting it up here somewhere. Roger's probably going to shoot me for saying this, but...
It just holds the bumper.
I just spent all this time welding this bumper, and yes, we understand that the bumpers are offset from each other because of the original frame damage, but I'm thinking about taking this frame rail and cutting... After I just welded all that, Jason, now I got to cut it back out.
You had nothing else to do.
Yeah, true. Thinking about making this and cutting a nice arch down in this and plating it with some steel, so... I don't know. That'll let the tank get down. It's, I shouldn't say never going to be below the hood, but it's going to be very close to the top of the hood by the time we get it down in here. But, you know, have a little cutout with the lines maybe sticking out of it. It'll still look clean, I think anyways. But, of course, it'd be great to tuck it away. I mean, you could put it in the back seat, put it in the trunk. But then, I don't know. We just want it convenient for us to change oil, check it, fill it, plug it in to heat and burn the methanol out, stuff like that. And yeah, that's just going to be plain and simple. A little bit of cut out in the hood. You already cut in the center out, so why not cut another hole in it?
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Next episode, we're going to be painting. And then we should probably give them some old Burnout footage, maybe? Ice Cream Cruise that Tanner never did the video on?
He's got it done?
No, he doesn't have it done. I have a couple clips on my phone I could give him. I'll see if we can throw something together for you, maybe in between there with Ice Cream Cruise, be a short little video of that stuff. So, you know, we want the stuff out there. So we rewatch the stuff too, you know, and try and learn from our mistakes. But that's going to do it. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, become a channel member down below today. $2.99, is it $2.99 or $3.99 a month? $3.99. Still not much, guys. Probably waste more than that on food in a day. I do anyways. Jason, what about you? Most definitely. All right, we'll see you in the next one.